Squirrel Rosenberg Radio coming to you live and direct from the lab on this beautiful Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, from Paterson, New Jersey. I gotta tell you, tonight is very special. Like all the other nights we ever touched the mic, had a guest here at the table, had my crew in the house, and we just really sat back and discussed the good things and the positive things that are happening around us. Hoping, now let me rephrase that, inspiring you to really feel the good stuff that's happening in our world today. And tonight we have the second visit, I want to call that the second visit of this 3 or 4 part saga that we're going to do with the special guest, because we're going to be following her in another 2 more interviews when she goes through this mission. But first and foremost, let me just take this brief minute to thank everybody for tuning into the last show. We're here tonight hanging out. We had a couple people in the house, so you know I always do this. I want to give a big shout out to my crew in the back. Big shout out to E-Dub on the sound. Thank you so much, bro. Big shout out to Maddie in the back. Bong, bong, bong. Good energy on the camera. We have a special guest in tonight from Texas. Actually, let me refer through Arizona, Tucson. My boy Khalil is in the house. Thank you so much for bringing that heat. And of course, Ellie in the back bringing that special whoop. Yeah, so we got to keep it moving here. So Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, as we move it in. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And tonight, I'm blessed to have my girl, Jennifer Lynn in the house. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Round of applause. She's been here before, and you know who she is. She's that self-serving, self-sacrificing individual that's going to be going straight to South Africa in the next couple of weeks.
Yes. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yes. Is like 2 minutes.
I know.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back with Jennifer, jump into how prepared she is, what she's feeling now. She's 3 weeks away, ladies and gentlemen, from going to South Africa and beginning like the 3rd or 4th chapter of your life, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stay tuned. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, Squirrel Rosenberg TV 1. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, as we rock back in with Jennifer Lynn. Yeah, round of applause again. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I mean, you're getting ready
happy.
You're getting ready to fly across the world.
It's 18 hours
to serve.
Yeah.
So what's so funny is tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and let me just remind you, Jennifer came on the show and we spoke about a myriad of things, and we spoke about this particular trip in specifics. And I said to her, I'd like for you to be the Squirrel Rosenberg international correspondent from South Africa.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
amazing.
Yeah. So while you're out there, so we're going to want to follow up with you and see what's going on, not only before you leave, which is what's happening tonight, but I also want to follow up with you when you're there 2 or 3 times, and also when you come back. Could you bless us with your presence when you come back?
Definitely.
Okay, boom.
First stop.
So let me know where we are right now. We leave in 3 weeks. So let's put some dates on that. When do you leave the United States?
On the 11th. So their Peace Corps does something called staging.
Okay.
And it's like orientation. It's like 2 days in Philly. So I have to go down there on Sunday the 9th. And it starts at 5 p.m. Like the whole experience I'm about to have starts at 5 p.m. on that day. And it's this, I guess, maybe like icebreakers. Like you meet all the volunteers from all over the U.S. come to Philly that are going to leave. It's like 40 people, I think they said.
Okay.
So it's our cohort is what it's called, and we are all going to leave together. But for those 2 days in Philly, we do whatever those events are, and then we all fly out of JFK on the 11th.
Oh, wow.
to South Africa, and it begins.
Okay. So before we even cross the waters and deal with the South Africa experience, let me ask you, how is it like wrapping up this part of...
Gosh, it's so crazy because I just moved out of my apartment like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I basically like got rid of everything I own. I sold it or gave it away. I have 2 suitcases of clothing and some random bags right now.
Can I go, and I hate
It's
to use
very
this
freeing.
word. Can I go, I was going to ask you, what's that experience
Yeah,
like?
exactly. That's what I keep saying. Like, it's very freeing. It's like I'm almost 40 years old. I just got rid of everything. So I like feel like it's going to allow me to see where life takes me. Like if an opportunity arises while I'm in the Peace Corps that I want to take, I'm completely free to do that because I don't have stuff to come back to.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was profound.
That's how I feel.
And I wanted to really get to that point because as I realize and, knowing you and being a part of, helping you wrap things up, as I see you go through that motion, I was really wondering how is she handling this psychologically.
Well, I feel like I also realized that because I'm not scared and I'm this excited still, even though it's scary.
It's unknown.
It's it's because I'm so excited. I know that in itself tells me it's right. Because normally in life, and I know myself, I've done it, I've let fear stop me many times. And I feel like this time, because it's not enough to stop me, is the reason I should do it.
I think you just dropped a jewel on Squirrel Rosenberg Radio. You know that,
Yes.
right? You just dropped the first jewel on Squirrel Rosenberg Radio in this podcast because
Nice.
what you said is about conquering
Did you hear
fear.
that, guys?
Yeah, just stay focused. No, because at the end of the day, it's all about conquering that fear.
Yeah.
So you knew what it was, and you're also saying you go past that.
Yeah.
Be excited about the next chapter.
Exactly.
But before I even get to that, which is the middle part of what we're going to get into, I really want to salute you for the disattachment.
Yes.
If that's the word,
Detachment.
Detachment.
Yes.
There you go. Bung.
Yes.
That from the materialistic stuff.
Yes.
Because I see where in today's society that's the most difficult thing.
Yes. Yeah, I know because I've thought about this a lot because I feel like I got to this place because I got to a point in after my divorce, I guess, like after my mid-30s, where I started to realize, like, wait, everything I was told would make me happy, like a car, a house, this or that, like none of it made me happy. I was unfulfilled. And it was like, that's when I realized that I had felt like there was more to life than just acquiring all these things. I'm sure a lot of people have that experience in their 30s or 40s. But for me, it was that. And that's why, it's actually appealing to me to have such a simplified life, like minimalist, you know what I mean? Where, I don't feel like I need like things. Like I want to find my fulfillment in other ways.
No, I salute that. And right now, what I'd like for you to do is actually just let my listeners know, again, if they didn't see the first interview, because they may be wondering, well, what are they talking about? Where's she going? Is she going to the moon? Is she going to Mars? So just let everybody know what the expedition, the life-changing expedition you're about to embark on right now.
So I joined the Peace Corps, which is a government organization, U.S., started in the 60s, and its mission is to spread peace and friendship around the world. But then there's other missions are really to teach other countries about our culture and then bring their culture back.
Right.
And but also, there's different sectors, and I'm in the education sector. I'll be teaching English.
Okay.
In South Africa for the next little over 2 years as a Peace Corps volunteer.
Teaching English in South Africa for the next 2.5 years.
But in rural South Africa, because most people think why would they, it's like they think of Cape Town or Johannesburg,
right.
And that, why would you be teaching English? But it's rural South Africa. I'm actually just found out what part of South Africa I'm going to be in the Limpopo province. So it's the northernmost province.
Okay.
And it borders Botswana, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique.
Okay.
But it's the most impoverished region. It's very underdeveloped. But because of apartheid, though, the effects of that still reverberate in that society, and those schools, they just don't have the resources they need to really. It wasn't that long ago that apartheid ended.
True.
So
true.
Anyway, so at that time, Nelson Mandela actually, we learned this in the application process. He met with Bill Clinton when apartheid was ending and asked for the Peace Corps to be established in South Africa, and that's when it began. When they made English the language of schools. And then that's when the Peace Corps volunteers started to come in and help teach because we're native speakers and we're volunteers.
So how about the cultural acceptance with the? I mean,
Yeah,
'cause I'm sure-
apparently it's good. I mean, the villages do go through an application process to get a volunteer, so it's like they want. It's not like we just show up, and we're like, we're here to help you. We're American.
Yeah.
Like it's something that they want, and in some cases we'll be replacing a volunteer that's already been there. But it is. I think it has a positive presence in South Africa.
I have to even as we discussed the whole transition, and you just really eloquently expressed the entire mission that you're on right now.
Thank you.
Which is being a part of the Peace Corps organization and going to South Africa. And the province again, so my listeners can, if they want to Google that, we actually show it on our YouTube channel while we're doing this podcast.
Yes.
But
Limpopo.
Limpopo. That sounds like a Jamaican word for like yo. Where's my Limpopo? No, but that's funny. So Limpopo.
It could be.
Yeah, but Limpopo, and I really like the way that sounds. It rolls off the tongue.
Yeah.
But the border, so we can really geographically understand where that is.
So it is, like I said, it's the northernmost province. So it's like it's at the top of the country, and it borders Mozambique, Zimbabwe, and Botswana, and it's known. It's just like it's known. It has Kruger National Park. It has the like hot springs. It's known for game reserves, nature reserves. Like very underdeveloped. It's like all very rural.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah, but then like I said, the schools, they're the classes are overcrowded. They don't get the resources they need, and so like landscape, it's like amazingly beautiful and pristine, but in the culture, that's why the volunteers are there.
Wow. Before we take this second break on Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, I wanted to really, because in this segment where you explain the entire mission and what you are about to embark on, I wanted to wrap this segment with this question as you get to realize with what you're about to expect when you get into South Africa.
Right.
But before we get to that, what's mom, the family, how is that separation? What's that like?
Well, they had, up until a couple weeks ago, they had actually not been, I don't think that they weren't supportive, because they knew I needed to do this, but they didn't ask me about it at all. Like, I could tell they were just afraid, so they avoided the whole thing. It's like they were like afraid, like they could not accept it. But a few weeks ago, basically the Peace Corps of New Jersey, the organization of returned volunteers, they held this picnic, and I was going to go by myself. It was down in Princeton, but then it said friends and family on the email, so I sent it to my family, and then I roll up with like 10 people. Like nobody else had like this big entourage, but it was like my parents, but it meant a lot to me. It was my mom and dad, all three of my sisters, their significant others, and my nieces and nephews.
Ooh, a lot of support.
The whole family, like
lot of
for
support.
them to come to Princeton was like meant so much. So anyway, it was very significant because they had like 30 to 40 returned volunteers, and at the end they lined us all up chronologically based on our year of service. So there was like a couple that served in 61 when the Peace Corps first started, and they went down the whole line. They like passed a candle, and every volunteer told like an experience and a piece of advice to us who are about to leave. And because my parents got to see that, like decades of people, it was such a profound and meaningful experience for them to be a Peace Corps volunteer, that they still are a part of the organization. They had such fond memories of their service, and a lot of them went back to the community like years later or decades later, and like saw their community service, the community center they started was still there, or something was, the impact they made was still there. And for my parents to hear that, like my mom like wrote a message on Facebook, which she's like, she didn't even know how to use the thing, so she was like saying how she was proud. So that I feel like was the turning point for them.
Can we toast to that?
Yes,
can we lift these Heineken bottles
nice.
to that? And
it was awesome.
Salute.
Very much.
Oh, wow.
Like now they understand like the magnitude of the Peace Corps work, and that they feel proud, and that was like huge because I was still going. But
however, the self-sacrificing, the shedding of all the materialistic stuff, and the accepting open heart, just awareness that you've taken to this is really profound.
Thank you.
And I'd love for all my listeners to realize that each and every one of us have the ability to do just that. Well,
it's actually interesting because I lost my job. That was why I decided to do it, because eliminated the position I had. But just to show you the contrast, just a year ago, I was in a job that I absolutely hated. It was a 6-figure job, and I had the material things, and I was not fulfilled at all.
You could have stayed there.
And now I know I'm going to be, just living on whatever the Peace Corps pays us, but I couldn't be happier.
Wow. Wow. The classic jewel just being dropped. I'm just in the conversation itself, ladies and gentlemen, if you hear what Jennifer's dropping right now, being able to detach from the materialistic things that keep us grounded, frustrated, stressed, and leaving so
we've
free.
Never enough. Like unfulfilled.
Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, Squirrel Rosenberg TV. We're going to take a break, come back with Jennifer. I want to get into what she's expecting when she touched down on that red dirt in South Africa, where she's expecting to live, sleep, what's the weather like. Let's get intimate on what she's about to experience. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio 1. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, coming in live and direct with my guest, Jennifer DeCunto.
Hi.
Getting ready to hit to Limpopo, South Africa in the next 13 days.
Yeah.
Literally 13 days.
Yeah. Literally, as they would say in Jamaica. I love so what's so funny, as we sit back and we just casually talk about and really, maybe get granular about the experiences and the emotions, because I'd love for each and every one of us to live vicariously through what you're about to experience. Yeah. And with that said, we realize that you have a lot of support behind you, but we were talking about a quick experience. I was trying to say, all the stars are aligned. Like, you just have these experiences that are helping this process go smoothly. And it was just in Montclair, where I live, there's an African store, and I had seen online some of the volunteers, when they do their swearing in ceremony, I must go and shop for the African print clothing, and they wear them. So since this store is in town, I wanted to support them. Yeah. And I went there and I wanted to get a couple outfits. So as I'm there, the owners asked me, they were from Ghana, and they asked me why I was going to South Africa. And when I said the Peace Corps, they both were oh my God, we had Peace Corps volunteers when we were young. And the man was so wow. I always wanted to find her. He's she really influenced my life. And I just felt like I was meant to hear that.
Wow.
Right? I was just shopping in the store, but they had very significant experiences with Peace Corps volunteers in their life.
Oh, wow.
And they remembered them, and they felt they really influenced them. So I felt that was powerful.
Yeah, not only was that powerful, but I want to back to giving you more kudos and saluting you, because the awareness you had about the stars aligning, the coincidence of all that is... Even
for my parents, I wasn't going to invite them to that picnic. They came, and it changed their whole attitude about this experience. Yes, got to be proud of. All these little things just happening to make it positive, and I should be going. All right, so let's
get real right here. So you're landing in Limpopo.
Johannesburg. Because the first 3 months, 10 weeks of the whole thing, I'm not going to Limpopo till September, end of September. Because it's 27-month experience, right? So it's 2 years in Limpopo, but the first 3 months are actually training, where I'm going to be taking classes every day in the language that I have to study. I have to take an exam at the end of this training before I even get sworn in as a volunteer.
Wow, so you could be sent back if you fail this exam?
I guess so, but I'm not I know I'm going to pass it.
Good.
Yeah,
good.
I'm not really worried, because if college kids can pass this exam, I'm sure I can pass it.
Yeah, you're built for this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you're
I
already,
like being a student.
Yeah.
So
you're
anyway,
in-
I mean, I guess that is a possibility. But no, I'm not worried about it. Oh, excuse me.
So you're in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
For the first
10 weeks.
Okay.
Yes. So all the volunteers, we don't sleep. We sleep with host families, but we are in class every day. So it's like classes about the history of the country to really get us understanding of what we're experiencing and why it culture is the way it is. The language classes, intensive study, then safety and security, like just to keep us safe, and culture, all kinds of things. And they take us to like the Apartheid Museum and like, see Johannesburg and Pretoria. Those are two. Well, Pretoria is a capital city. I'm pretty sure Johannesburg is too. But anyway, so that whole part of it is really training for the 2 years in the village where we'll be working and teaching.
Nice.
Part of the training is also doing like a practicum in a local school and practice your teaching, so that when you go teach alone in the village, you'll be fine.
Proficient. Wow.
Yeah, so it's a U.S. government organization. Like I'm realizing how legit it is. It's like been
No,
around.
there's no doubt about it.
Even the medical and legal clearance was intense.
Yeah, and they have definitely laid the groundwork, which
Yes.
is this is not something you're doing for the first time.
We had to get a government passport as a Peace Corps.
Which means, if shit hit the fan, those
I'm
boys,
out of there first.
yeah, them boys coming in with the helicopter to drop you with the ladder. Jennifer, hold on.
Yeah,
it's like true lies.
They're very serious about security as well, because I follow a few of the volunteers on social media.
Yeah.
And I had seen for the past few weeks, and they're now back in their village, but there were a couple of them that the Peace Corps had evacuated from their village. I mean, that sounds like a serious word, because there was some political unrest. It must have been somewhere near one of the cities, because that's really where that's happening.
Yeah.
But the one volunteer said, the Peace Corps, it wasn't even anything really, but to be preemptive, they took them away from their village just because they're, we're.
No, it's good because the security.
I feel safe.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything can happen.
You're going with a
anywhere.
very established organization.
Yes.
So as you go in and set up camp,
yeah.
With the Johannesburg stay, you're pretty in the city. It's probably going to be a little bit different, but not as rural as where you're going.
Right. It's actually safer in the villages for us, they say. Like, even just like, the cities have more crime. And so, I mean, I'm glad I'm in a rural area, to be honest. Like, family oriented. We're with a host family.
How do you think your adjustment's going to be?
I mean, I do think
Rural life.
There will be culture shock. But I feel like I'm so ready for the challenge that, like, even on hard days, I'll be able, or if I don't feel like I can do it, I feel like I can make the intention to, like, look at my surroundings and say, how blessed am I? Like, I'm here right now.
I love the mindset that you're in.
Yeah, like even if I have a bad day, I'll be like, this is gonna end soon.
Yeah.
Not to be here forever.
That's like incredible mindset to
be
have.
in the present moment and enjoy
it's
it.
an incredible mindset to have, and I really think because of that, and because you're extruding that positive energy, you're gonna get nothing but positive energy back. So
yeah.
What's
and if I know if cause I've seen it, like if a village is absolutely horrible, like if the people aren't welcoming to you, let's say, and like it's really hard to adjust, you can express that to the headquarters, and they'll change your village.
So you have that option.
Yeah, and you could always leave. Like it's like early termination. You're not in jail or whatever. You can leave if you hate it. But I mean, how could you hate it?
I'm gonna go really intimate on what you're about to experience here.
Yeah.
So what food will you not eat? You're gonna.
I mean, I think the
you're
cuisine there I'll
rural
like.
South Africa here, so
Yeah, I mean, I think the cuisine there I'll like. I mean, I'm not that into organs. I've tried them. I went to culinary school, in Italy, so like I had to try that stuff. I feel like you should try it, and I will for like being polite, but I can't really eat organ meat or like bugs and stuff.
Going with some ants cereal for breakfast.
But it is a meat eater's country, and I'm not sure if they pronounce it bray or brai, Brai.
Okay.
But that barbecue, that means barbecue, and it's like the South African bray or whatever, is like that's what they do. It's like, beef, lamb, like, I love that.
Okay,
I'm
so
a meat eater.
yeah, right.
So
up
I
there.
feel like I'll be fine. And then they have like a national dish called pap or pop. It's like PAP. It's like a corn, but it's almost like a grits, I think, like, but solid. Like that's what they eat a lot down there with their meals.
So you seem like you have an open mind to the food.
Yes.
Open mind to the experience.
Totally.
And I'm going to ask you to be as vulnerable as you possibly can. is there anything that's in the back of your mind, like you're saying, I want to be?
No, what scares me the most is actually teaching English.
And I taught English.
Yeah, and I taught English. I mean, I taught for many years. I think that it's just how I am. Like, I think the fear of being up in, because they're large classes, there could be up to 50 kids in a class.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot. And, you know, it's not their native language. So if I'm, you know, so anyway, it's like, this is how I am. I like get nervous. Like, I hope I'm effective. Like, I hope I do what I'm supposed to do. So, but I think that fear will just subside once I'm doing it. I have to start doing it for that fear to go away.
Back to a great perspective.
Yeah.
So here's another. Are you open to maybe finding a husband in Limpopo?
No, I think I'm too much of an independent, like, you know, American woman, like for like, you know, to be with some, I don't know. I mean, hey, I'm open to anything.
Listen,
in life.
You never know. You might be picked up the next Idris Elba, this guy just coming fresh off.
I mean, that I'd think about. Idris Elba, yes. Please. I hope that you were willing that to me.
Yeah, I am putting great energy out there because
he's manifesting it.
Yeah, but great energy. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, as we get ready to wrap on this last segment with my guest here, Jennifer Kunto, get ready to head straight to South Africa, and not only, you know, be a part of the Peace Corps, give, serve, but to also just completely submit yourself. And the relinquishing and submitting and accepting is what we really need to focus on out of this podcast, because that's what a lot of people are not doing. Yeah. And you mentioned earlier, the minute you started doing that, you felt so free.
Yeah, like I always feel like when I tried to study like Buddhism or things, it was like they would tell you like don't be attached to things, like, you know, like what's the word, surrender to the universe, like, and of course, like intellectually I was like, yes,
talk is cheap,
but it was hard to do.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't fucking know how to do this.
Yeah.
But once what I realized, I think, is once you find something that like speaks to your soul, then it's easy to do that, because like things come to you because you
Squirrel Rosenberg Radio
resonate, you know.
You just dropped a jewel. I had to interrupt you. I had to interrupt you. Once you find something that speaks to your soul,
then you vibrate on another level. Like you told me the last time, my energy was good, and I felt like I had all of a sudden heard that a lot. Just because I'm excited, I'm doing something that I feel called to, and so my energy is good.
If we had to close out on this last segment, and which we are going to do, and I want you to say something, because I want you to wrap this segment for me with the profound statement regarding your passion and the stars aligning. Let my listeners know.
When you follow your heart, when you do something that speaks to you, it's an energy. For me, at least, it's an energy. It's like I feel like I'm vibrating. I have to follow that.
And you feel
that. You feel it.
It's
for me,
tangible.
It's a feeling. Exactly. It's not like a voice, but some people have that. But when you're not in alignment with your true self, you're going to be depressed. Something's going to feel missing. You're going to be unfulfilled. There's a disconnect. So if you find, like, so that was my unraveling my past 5 years of like that life, like living double life, really, like not doing what I felt like I wanted to do in my heart, but doing things I thought I should be doing for society or for my parents. So now that I'm really doing things that are for me, I'm super happy. And I was like, even 6 months ago, I wouldn't have known that I would feel this way today.
No, once again, I salute the way you really stepped out there, because a lot of people talk about it, but not a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah. Something this year made me feel like I needed to do humanitarian type work. And the moment, even when I applied, I still didn't know if I would do it. But once the ball got rolling, it was like, that's the manifestation. Like that was the energy I started to like, build, and it was so exciting. We
can definitely empathize with that here on Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, because that's what we have done to got this far. Yes. So we're going to take this quick break, come back with Jennifer, wrap on how she's going to be able to communicate with us when she's in South Africa, especially in Limpopo. We're going to have to send like a bat link or a Squirrel Rosenberg link to get you in, but we want to hear some of those experiences. Come back, wrap with that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, Jennifer Kunto, South Africa, Limpopo. We're coming at you. One. Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, rocking it out with our guest Jennifer DeCunto here. So she's getting ready to head out to South Africa, wrapping up the last segment of this powwow. We were just chatting behind the scenes about the music, some of the stuff we love, and are you ready for what you're about to hear over there? What's number one in Limpopo right now?
Limpopo?
Yeah. What's number one in Limpopo right now?
I'm not sure what's number one.
Can we Google that? Can we check that out?
Yeah, what's the top of the
charts? Manny's laughing behind the scenes.
I mean, I'm sure American music is popular there too, but
EW, look that up right now. Check out. Give me the top 5 joints in Limpopo right now.
What's interesting is a good friend of mine. He had been to South Africa as a kid because his stepfather manages a group from South Africa called Ladysmith Mambazo.
Okay.
And they are famous. They've been around for decades, and they're sang with Paul Simon and all this. So I'm like,
okay, say that slowly.
Ladysmith Black Mambazo.
Okay.
Yes. And they're that classic when you they were really in the Power of One type beginning of that movie music, that harmonizing that African music.
Okay.
And beautiful. Anyway, so my friend, I said I'm gonna try to go see them if they're on tour. He's like, yeah, because his dad is the manager. He will get me tickets to see the show.
Okay.
I'm like,
wow.
That's the music
that should be
I know.
fun.
Yeah.
So straight African beats, African drums.
Yes.
You're ready. You're open for all that.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Nice. It's gonna be.
I love other cultures. It really is what it comes down to. That's why I'm open to the food and everything, music, the clothing. I bought African clothes at that store where I met those people from Ghana. I brought head wraps and skirts and shoes and.
You're gonna go in.
Yeah, why not?
Being fully immersed.
I mean, unless it's inappropriate. I mean, it seems because I see that the volunteers do wear, Western clothing, but or African print. It's they wear whatever.
Yeah, no, that's big. That's big. So, I hear you're fully prepared, not only with the mental aspect of it or the psychological aspect of it, and jumping in, but how open you are and the excitement is really what I'm sensing. And I want to give you major kudos.
Thank you.
When I thought you were cool, now you got 10 more cool points.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, for real, because you're going out on a limb and you're gonna blast this off. So as we get ready to wrap this up, I wanted to let everybody know that our mission here on Squirrel Rosenberg Radio is to be fortunate enough to follow you a year from now, where we can keep in touch, right? So we can do a Skype link.
Yes.
And see what's going on, follow up with you. If we can, give us an email feedback so we can read it from Jennifer, let people know what's going on with your mission. We do have some fundraising avenues open up for you right now. Could you let my listeners know how they could really sponsor your cause?
Yes. So I created a fundraising site on youcaring.com, and I just posted it on my Facebook and my Instagram pages. So, which I didn't have when I was on last. I just created all this.
So plug everything.
Yeah. So on Facebook, the name is Jennifer Lynn, Jennifer, and then Lynn, Lynn, 2 separate words. And then on Instagram is Jennifer, Jennifer 4578. All together, no spaces. And on each of those it would link you to the fundraising page. But if you go straight onto You Caring, the page is after the backslash at the end of youcaring.com. It's the backslash, and then it's Jennifer's, no apostrophe, Jennifer's with an S on the end of Jennifer _ is Jennifer's peace _core _ journey. Jennifer's Peace Corps journey, but there's an underscore in between each word.
So let's say that again slowly, because we want to make sure my listeners contribute. We're going to contribute. We want to sponsor your GoFundMe page.
I wonder if they can just search on You Caring for my name.
Well, I'll do both. Let's cover both.
So the after youcaring.com, there's a backslash, and then it's Jennifer's Jennifers, no apostrophe, _ peace PEACE _ core CORPS _ journey JOURNEY.
Let's get that right.
Jennifer's Peace Corps journey.
Bon, let's sponsor that. Let's donate. Let's make sure she's equipped, what she have everything she may possibly need and more to continue to serve. And with your Instagram or your Facebook, where could they find you on that?
Well, also if they they can try searching my name on UCaring, which is Jennifer, and then DeCunto, D'Acunto. So
okay,
they might find it that way too.
Okay, perfect. And we're paying special attention to the correct pronunciation and
DeCunto.
spelling, because we want to make sure that you have the opportunity to contribute and make a big impact here on this trip. I want to salute you right now, Jennifer, for being such a wonderful guest.
Thank you.
Not only before, but even right now, getting intimate with us on what we're preparing to do and sharing I think the takeaway from tonight's powwow as you prep to leave is the pleasure and the peace that comes with relinquishing all this stuff that you think you may need.
Yes.
To grow and do and build.
Yes, that's it. It's like an illusion that we need it, but we don't need it. You know, we're happy without it.
Squirrel Rosenberg Radio, Jennifer DeCunto. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. One.
Thank you.